guess I'll find out when I.
Yeah, there's different like scansion that everyone does of where they place the emphasis, and so I just want to leave that to you so that we don't say it all at different times.
I'm gonna pass because I don't want to get my clothes dirty.
Thank you. I put some on earlier. I don't think it will work, but we'll see.
So I'm gonna teach you a term, and I'm curious if anyone's familiar with it. It's Canadian as far as I'm concerned. It's called longs and longs. So I learned about longs and longs in the summer in Canada. You gotta go longs and longs if you don't want to get eaten alive.
This is gonna be dicey.
I have scars.
Yes, after
From
so bad.
yeah, I doused myself with this that I still get.
Yeah.
Lexi, I see you on the head. That's perfect. So that's protein. That is
Somewhat painful. Lexi, do you need the cords for Havdalah? Because I was planning on using this sheet. But I can do that one if you need that.
No, I can do the other sheet. The cords are still there for them.
It's just a little more
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
great.
Do you want me just to give you like a?
I can't, sorry.
Okay.
Do we have the Torah to be
The Torah and the white mantle are here. I was just checking with Tom about that.
so awesome? So awesome. We should start. And we're not going to be able to do the lights. You know, again, this was I remember the conversation with Tracy. And she said, this is not the right ambiance. We should do it here, but we should figure out a way to dim the lights. And I said, oh, we'll do it next year.
This is so different than the way I experienced
So
it the year before.
different.
This is
So
very frontal and very
Well, it's very frontal.
less intimate.
Yeah, so here's my
Two
question.
right sides.
Is there a way for us?
Like last time we like sat right back.
Right,
in
so
the day.
my question is, there's no way for us to sit over there?
I mean, we can move our chairs or
No,
block the
but
screen
no.
that they can't.
I've got
No,
no problem just sitting on the floor.
No,
in
I want
front,
to sit there.
But here's the problem.
Yeah.
There's also a camera set up.
Set both microphones and screen and everything.
Yeah, I think we.
I think we need to just live with this.
We'll live with it.
And we will.
Now
sit
we
for
will
next
remember
year.
for next year because neither of us
No,
were here.
I remember now. But I will, we'll be here. We'll be fun.
But look, we have a handheld, so you can break
cool
the
to do
wall,
it.
the fourth wall, and go
Oh,
down.
that's the handheld?
That is a
Oh.
handheld, so you can do that. Just be careful getting, on and off the thing.
I'm cool to move these down. It's just these two things, really. If we want it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be very cool.
Further in front of the speakers, you got the worse it sounds potentially.
All right. If you can do it, that'd be awesome.
And then we're gonna. Well, could we put our chairs like?
We shouldn't put our chairs down here, should we? We should. I mean, we should probably. Can we stay? Should we stay up here? But we come down here to leave.
Yes, the cameras. Not an issue?
Yeah, we'll talk to
Hold on, we gotta involve DJ because if he's set for this angle for the camera.
Yeah, I think it might be too low.
So we just use the hand towel when we want to get on there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do.
Okay.
For Havdalah, will each of us hold a thing?
If yeah, well, yeah, sure.
Well, you're going to do the talking. We need
We can hold.
Let's join our voices with the sounds of crickets. They're singing with us. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai, Elecha v'nashuva v'nashuva chadesh, 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 yameinu kekedem. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai, Elecha v'nashuva, v'nashuva. Chadesh, Chadesh, Yameinu kekedem. It's on.
What is this moment of Selichot all about? The cantor just gave you the clue. Hashivenu. What does Hashivenu mean? Bring us back, Adonai, to you. Only then can we return. Make our days like new. How does that happen? It happens when we take the time to reflect on the people we are and the people we know we can become. When we support each other in the struggles, in this crazy life we live, this meshugana world we face, and in so doing, we make holy presence real. That is the marker or the directional that leads us back home on this road to return.
We return,
We return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again. We return, to truth. We don't go quite this high next time. To truth. Great job. To truth. We return again to truth. We return. We return. We return. Return again. We return. We return. We return. Return again and again to you, to you. To we return again to you. So honored to be joined by our new song leader and music specialist, Lexi Weekly.
So Havdalah, as we're used to, usually ends Shabbat, and then we go into our regular week. The Havdalah of Selichot is a little different and a little more special, because not only does it end Shabbat, but it brings us into this period of approaching closer and closer to these holy days. The whole month of Elul, we're theoretically preparing our souls, we're getting ready, but sometimes you need that little extra spark, the little extra nudge to really get you started, and that is what Selichot is, that is what Havdalah is, bringing us into Selichot. So as we do this Havdalah separation service, separating us from Shabbat and also separating the rest of normal time from entering into the holy days, I'll invite my rabbis to take pieces of the ritual, and Cantor Orangel, if you want to grab one as well. Each part of this ritual,
Thank you.
will once again bring us closer and closer to the holy days.
Ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri hagafen, borei peri hagafen. Ya lai, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, lai 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 lai, ya la lai lai, ya la lai.
The spices, allowing them to awaken us, awaken our souls. At what points this year have you felt most alive, most awake? What scents and spices have filled your lives with flavor?
Ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai lai, ya la lai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei besamim borei minei besamim ya lai ya la 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 ya lai lai ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la
inspiration have you received? In what ways has your light maybe been dimmed over the past year? And what can you do to reclaim that spark?
Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei meorei ha'esh, borei meorei ha'esh. Ya Elai, ya la 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 la, ya Elai la, ya Elai la, ya Elai ya la, ya Elai ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la.
As we say this last blessing for separation together, we know that the next time, most likely, that we'll all be here to recite that blessing will be the end of Ne'ilah. So as we approach this period, what do you want to do in the coming weeks? How do you want to feel when that last shofar blasts? How do you want to feel when we separate once again from the holy to the rest of our lives?
Ya Elai, ya la 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 la, ya Elai, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya Elai, ya la la la, ya la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavdil ben kodesh lechol, ben or lechoshet, ben Yisrael le'amim, ben yom hashvi'i, l'sheshet yemei ha'ma'aseh. Baruch atah Adonai, hamavdil ben kodesh lechol. Ya Elai, ya la 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 la, ya Elai, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya Elai, ya la 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 la, ya Elai, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la. Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol, chatoteinu hu yimchol, zareinu v'chaspenu yarbe kachol, v'hakochavim balayla. Shavua tov, 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 shavua tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimhera v'yameinu, Yavo Eleinu, Im Mashiach ben David, Im Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. Shavua tov, 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 shavua tov.
You should say have a good week to somebody. Shavua tov, gute Woche. Name a language. Turn to somebody.
Shavua Tov. I like her.
She's great. She's great. Yeah. You know, something which is highly academic.
So we planned a responsive reading, but we imagined it to be darker. I think I'm going to read both parts, but you're welcome to join me.
How about if we do it back and forth?
That would be beautiful. Thank you, Cantor.
We'll be in duet.
Now is the time for turning. The leaves are beginning to turn from green to red and orange.
The birds are beginning to turn and are heading once more toward the south. The animals are beginning to turn to storing their food for the winter.
For leaves, birds, and animals, turning comes instinctively. But for us, turning does not come so easily.
It takes an act of will for us to make a turn. It means breaking with old habits.
It means admitting that we have been wrong, and this is never easy.
It means breaking with old habits. It means losing face. It means starting over all again. And this is always painful.
It means saying, I'm sorry. It means recognizing that we have the ability to change.
These things are terribly hard to do. But unless we turn, we will be trapped forever in yesterday's ways.
Holy One, help us to turn from callousness to sensitivity, from hostility to love, from pettiness to purpose, from envy to contentment, from carelessness to discipline, from fear to faith.
Turn us around, O God, and bring us back toward you. Revive our lives as at the beginning.
And turn us towards each other, God, for in isolation there is no life. And so, as in everything else we do in our tradition, the Torah guides our way. In this case, literally, because over these next couple of weeks, we are supposed to be cleansing ourselves spiritually. We sometimes even wear white symbolically to show on the outside that process that we're engaged with in the inside. And we start, of course, with changing the mantle of our Torah. So I want to invite up Tom and Judy Landau to help us ceremonially dress our Sefer Torah for the holidays.
I'm just right here.
Yes.
Eitz chaim hi lama
The Torah is ready, so now we have to be as well. A few words about Teshuvah by Rabbi Karen Kadar. She writes, our story is shaped by a mysterious cacophony of successes and failures, chance and circumstance, talent and luck, friend and foe,
doors that have opened and doors that have closed. We witness and reflect upon our lives. We relive our significant moments over and over. And in so doing, we give emphasis, definition, and meaning to past events and ultimately to our lives. We can choose to focus on the negatives or the positives. Choice becomes the greatest power we have. We can choose to interpret challenging moments, some the result of our having made bad choices, others not, as if we are victims of some conspiracy to cause our downfall. Or we can see them as lessons which have shown us our own inner strength, our resolve to aspire and persevere, our power to choose differently next time and affect a different outcome. This retelling, this returning to events and to people creates a persona of who we are in the present and who we can become. Therefore, the way we react and relay and ultimately make sense of our story illustrates the power of interpretation and perspective. We must believe in the human capacity to change. Teshuvah is our road to correction, a path that returns us to center. It returns us toward light when our choices have led us into darkness. It is the acknowledgement of the spiritual potential within each of us, either to depress or elevate the human condition. Once upon this path of Teshuvah, we are invited again and again to embark upon a journey of goodness and kindness, of righteous and ethical living. When we return to the center, whatever our past, we can choose new life. Despite our fear, we can have hope. Whatever wrongs we have committed, we can repent. We must believe in the human capacity for change.
That's a great setup. That's a great setup. So, can I come down here? I'm so far away from everybody. What is this all about? It's about cheshbon hanefesh, which some would translate as accounting of the soul. I call it a soul check. What does that really mean? The great Musar rabbi Israel Salanter taught. He asked his students, why does each person have two eyes? One is to see out and to notice all of the wonderful things, the great qualities in the people around them. The other is to see in, to notice where you're falling short, the habits that have become negative traits, the stuff inside you know you need to change. And so cheshbon hanefesh is looking both ways, looking out and looking in. This is a courageous thing, or really a risky thing we're asking you to do, but we want to do a communal soul check, not to share with everybody, but to be able to share with one person. Frank, you could share with Marie. Marie, whatever you do, do not share with Susie, okay? You take a minute before I let you share, because what are we really doing here? We're building a bridge that reaches from inside out and enables us to walk towards teshuvah, returning to the self, the person that we can yet be. Think for a minute. It doesn't have to be, by the way, the person next to you that you look out and say, I want to be just like. It could be someone in your life, a grandchild, a cousin, a friend, an acquaintance, a colleague. What is it that you most admire, that you want to aspire to be? And what is it that you most need to change from the inside? You have 3 minutes to talk and turn. If the room is quiet in 30 seconds, the cantor is going to be very upset. Go help them. I'll do a change. I aspire to be
first time that our texts teach about Selichot, it's sort of a small teaching in an medieval midrash. And we read that David knew that the temple would be destroyed in the future and that the sacrificial cult would be nullified. And David was troubled, thinking, how will Israel make atonement then? So God said to David, when troubles come upon Israel, let them do 3 things. Let them stand before me as a single unit. Let them make confession before me, and let them say the Selichot, the forgiveness service before me, and I will answer them. What's striking me most in this moment, especially after not only listening to that song, but singing the song together, is the importance of us standing before God as a single unit. When we confess, we're not alone. We are standing together in community because it's not just about us as individuals. It's about how our whole communities might have fallen short, might have sinned, might have been complicit. It makes sense that we would all admit to this together. But even more so, we say this together because we know that we're not alone in trying to repair. We are sailing on behind each other to lift each other up, to try to fix the mistakes that we've made, to fix ourselves as we've fallen short. And so as we say Vidui together, as we do this communal confession, we remember that we're not alone. We remember that we are singing alongside each other. We are there to lift each other up, to help us move forward together. We'll rise for Ashamnu, the first time we're participating in this communal confession.
Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu Dofi. Heavinu, Behir Shanu, Zadnu, Hamasnu, Tafalnu Shaker. Maradnu, Niatsnu, Sararnu, Avinu, Pashanu, Sararnu, Kishinu Oref. Rashanu, Shichatnu, Tiavnu, Ta'inu, Titanu.
You may be seated for a moment. So for those of you who might really remember your Aleph Bet, that Ashamnu that we just sang through was literally an alphabet of sins, so to speak. Each one, some way that we fell short, some way that, the truth is the word chet in Hebrew doesn't really mean sin. It's not a great translation. It's an archery term from the Bible. It's about that moment of missing the mark just a little bit. And so we say first that communal Ashamnu, we cover all of our bases together as a community with the whole alphabet of possible ways we have fallen short or missed the mark. But then, of course, it's important that we also take a moment, each of us tonight, and of course, over the course of the 10 days of Ah and Yom Kippur especially, to think about the ways in which each of us individually has maybe missed the mark. What are the ways that we have strayed from our truest path, from our core values, from our deepest relationships? So we take a couple of minutes now. You can close your eyes if it helps you concentrate to look inward. This is our moment of private confession, starting to crack open our heart to be ready for the holy days. For all of these failures, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement.
Avinu Malkeinu, the hits of the new year, especially as we enter Selichot, would be incomplete without Avinu Malkeinu. It's probably number 3 in the all-time list. What Avinu Malkeinu, however, we don't realize. We sing it, we chant it, we love it. It's a contradiction. Which is it, Avinu or Malkeinu? I don't remember who it was. It may have been, I always credit Lester Bronstein, great rabbi, my classmate, who was a rabbi before he was ever a rabbinic student, I think once called God two-faced in referring to Avinu Malkeinu. Think about it. God is parent and sovereign, compassionate presence and supreme judge. God's all around us, God's far beyond us. So which is it? The great Rabbi Harold Schulweis of Valley Beth Shalom in Encino, California, the greatest theologian of his movement, wrote the following as an explanation, which I love. The two dimensions of divinity belong together. Elohim, the God of nature. Adonai, the God of moral meaning. Elohim, the God of necessity. Adonai, the God of possibility. Elohim, the God of what is. Adonai, the God of what ought to be. God is one, yet a duality of presence, manifesting in our lives, sometimes in diametric, divergent ways. We turn to a presence that is a paradox. The God that's our very breath, moving through us every moment, and the God who is the cosmic source, keeping the world moving on. Avinu Malkeinu. Not either or, but both and. We're going to read this wonderful reading. Our rabbinic intern and I will read it, but you're going to read it on the holy days that introduces Avinu Malkeinu. I'll start. Loving Father,
Infinite power,
gentle, forgiving,
lofty, inscrutable,
Avinu,
Malkeinu.
Compassionate Mother,
Omnipotent Lord,
comforting presence,
fathomless mystery,
Avinu,
Malkeinu.
our rock and redeemer,
Life of the universe,
close to us always,
impossibly far,
Avinu,
Malkeinu.
embracing,
Confounding,
accepting our frailty,
decreeing our end,
Avinu.
Malkeinu.
None of these are true,
None of them are you, yet we stand as those before us have stood, summoned to judgment, longing for love, Avinu Malkeinu. May these words be a bridge, they come from our hearts, may they lead us to you.
Avinu Malkeinu, Honenu Vanenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Honenu Vanenu, Ki ein banu masim. Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed. Aseh imanu tzedaka v'chesed v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Honenu Vanenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Honenu Vanenu, Ki ein banu masim.
We're at the gateway. What is our closing hope? It's always teshuvah. It's always that same word. It can be translated in lots of ways. Repenting, returning, turning ourselves around, starting anew, setting out on a fresh path. Where are we at this moment? What is it that we stand before? It's an open door. Or maybe the door's closed. Maggie Smith writes this poem. I don't know if Maggie Smith's Jewish, but she so should be. It's called Threshold. It's our hope and our challenge. You want a door you can be on both sides of at once. You want to be on both sides of here and there, now and then, together with the days we'd wish back if we could have them. But any open space we face may be a threshold, an archway of entering and leaving, crossing a field, wading through nothing but timothy grass. Imagine yourself passing from and into, passing through and becoming you, doorway after doorway, until you enter. Close your eyes for a minute right where you are. You see the doorway for the new year in front of you, but it's not everyone's doorway. It's just meant for you. There's a word on it. It's your word. It's your hope. It's your struggle. It's your challenge. It's your deepest, innermost prayer. The doorway is closed, but you can open it. Not with your hands, but with your spirit and your heart. I'm going to ask you in a minute what your doorway says. Just one word. What does your doorway say? Anybody can shout it out. I'll repeat some of them, maybe all of them. Hope. Say it again. Love. Understanding. Change. Forgiveness. Peace. Presence. Yeah. Compassion. Mitzvah. Very Jewish. Connection. Generosity. Welcome. Memory. Gratitude. Sameach. Sameach. He's a big shot. It's Hebrew. It's Hebrew. Happiness. To be happy. I cheated. My doorway has 2 words. It's slow down. I run so fast. I do so much. I try to do more. I never do enough. And I don't slow down to appreciate the world I live in, the people who love me, the people who love me, the people I love. And so I would just say to you, whatever's on your doorway, slow down.
We return. We return. We return. We return. We return. Return again. We return. We return. We return. We return.
return. We return. We return, return again and again to love. Now to peace. To peace. We return again. This time, shalom. Shalom. Shana Tova.
Group hug team. Come on. This is
Oh, let me
very,
hold on, let me turn my-
very